Hello guys, before I get started into this video, I had like a couple of like really key questions that I wanted people to tell me like what they thought. What do people think about when Britney says, I want to sue my family, they all benefited? Do we think that she means mostly Jamie Spears and not really her sister? And what would you have done if you were Jamie Lynn? And how, like, just tell me what your reaction is to Jamie Lynn's whole statement. Because I'm just, I just finished recording the whole video and I'm just like, let me record a different intro so people can, so I can get straight to asking questions before, you know, we get into it. And then, kind of related but unrelated at the same time, there's this guy on YouTube called Dr. Grande. And he's made a couple of one or two other videos about Free Britney and Britney Spears and all this stuff and conservatorships. And he seemed very pro the conservatorship last time, and I don't think that he really looked into it that deep because he didn't say anything about like what the qualities and qualifications of a conservator should be, even though Jamie Spears has kind of been sus for a while and has different legal problems with himself. Anyway, I just wanted to know, and then, but he's made another video about about Britney Spears' statement, and now he seems like more in favor of what she has to say. I don't know. Have y'all heard of Dr. Grande? I was thinking about making a video. I don't know about that. I don't know about him. I have a lot of mixed feelings. Okay, anyway, on to the rest of the video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber. But welcome if you are just new. Hello, how are you? I have not talked about this Britney Spears thing because I've done a little tiny bit of commentary stuff on this channel. Like I talked about what is her name, Olivia Jade and stuff like that, but I don't do a lot of commentary. And specific to this case, I didn't talk about the Free Britney thing because I felt like there was a part of it where what if people are protesting and stuff, but we don't know, like, she needs, like, maybe she needs a conservatorship. I don't know. There was a part of me that was like kind of torn, and there's a part of me like a part of me thinks that the conservatorship wouldn't be as bad if, number one, I did always the whole time think her dad being the conservator was sus, but we'll talk about that in a second. And then number two, I was like, I don't know about taking away all of someone's rights. I think that, you know, the court appointing a group of people that are like counsel with her before she can make a decision, and she has to consult people. But I think that she should have some level of veto power. Like there should be some way there, like, but it's just like all of her rights are stripped from her. She just can't do anything. So like that was like, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm like rambling a little. So those are my like initial thoughts, like looking at the Free Britney situation. And then there was like this undercurrent of like kind of conspiracy theory type stuff going on. You know, when people are on Instagram, they're like, oh, she posted this book on this day and this means that. Oh, Britney, wear a yellow shirt if you're upset. Blink twice, you know, wear this or wear that. I was like, okay, you know, like I felt like that element of it got a little wonky. So I was like, let me just see how this plays out. Excuse me. And then there was a part of me that was just kind of like, I know this sounds like defeatist, but I almost felt like, what can we really do? Like that's a part of me just felt like, okay, like we all have these comments and opinions, but what's the point of us all just discussing this over and over and over again? We can't get Britney out of it. Only the people in her life can do that. That's a perfect transition to the point of this video, which I don't know what to call this video because I don't want this video. Let me just clarify. This video is not like an attack on Jamie Lynn. This is me being confused by Jamie Lynn and confused by so many elements of the situation. And I just want us to talk about it. Like, let's just talk about it. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? Because I just feel like there's just something with Jamie Lynn that I'm confused by her action. I'm confused by her inaction, honestly. So throughout this whole conservatorship thing, I was like, none of us can do anything. The people in her life need to do something. And I just felt like, well, there's a couple people in her life that I think aren't going as hard in the paint as they should be going, like her mom and her sister. Like, I was like, what are they doing? And I want to more so say the mom, because the dad was the one who was the conservator. But the mom wrote in her biography years ago that the dad had an alcohol problem. So why would the mom sit back for over a decade and let this guy run Britney's life who has his own personal issue? You see what I'm saying? Not that you have to be perfect to be conservator, but like, he had some red flags with him. He had some issues with him. He's been arrested for DUI. You know, like, you know, he has been charged with domestic violence towards her son. And that's part of why she had her, like, access to her son reduced. You know what I mean? Like, it was because of him. So it was like really surprising to me that the mom hasn't stepped in. But I mean, she's on equal playing field with dad, right? So like, mom should have gone to bat with dad. You know what I mean? Like, over this whole situation. And obviously, who is just like asking Britney what she wants? And I'm just like, everybody is so close to her and all this stuff is going on. Anyway, let's talk about, oh, and then I had another question. Another one of my questions was, her net worth is $60 million. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but that's not a lot for how long Britney has been working. You see what I'm saying? Like, compare her to other people who aren't even as iconic as her, who've worked over the same period of time. I know she's taken some breaks and some years off, but she also has merch. She also has perfume. She also has, you see what I'm saying? And like, people licensing her music, etc., etc. Anytime you hear a Britney song, she's getting a check. So just, I think like, someone needs to hire a forensic accountant. I am just saying, like, where 60 million don't sound right. I feel like Britney should be worth at least $100 million. At least. And I don't think, like, go look up other people. I should have done that. I should have looked at, I'm probably gonna have to make another video. This is getting long. I haven't even gotten to Jamie Lynn yet. Okay, let's get to Jamie Lynn's statement. Yeah. And then I literally said, if they give, I have notes. If they give Britney back control of her statement, we're all going on a shopping spree, okay? On me. We're all getting albums. We're all getting perfume bottles. We're ordering t-shirts. Like, as soon as they say she's back in control, we are going shopping, honey. Let's hop on iTunes. Because like right now we could all do that, like support Britney, like buy her music or whatever. But like, it will go, we don't know who it's going to at this point. But once they sign that paper and free Britney, we're celebrating. Anyway, I hope it comes, honestly. Let's talk about Jamie Lynn Spears. So during this whole thing, when this was all going down for the last couple years, Jamie Lynn, people have been commenting to her and stuff, and I don't think that that's appropriate. We're here talking over here. We're not going to her and bullying her, harassing her, or questioning her. But we are like wondering, because she's confusing to me. Okay, so last year somebody said something to her and they were like, why don't you speak out about what's going on with your sister? Obviously she's having mental health issues. Why don't you say something? And they were like, the only thing that's obvious, she said this quote that was like, the only thing it's obvious to me is that she is a badass woman, blah, 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 blah. And like, that's the only thing she's ever said to it until this new statement. And I'm just like, okay, let's put this into context. 12 years ago, when this conservatorship started, it was a lot of drama and a lot of, I think Britney Spears does have mental health issues, but I don't think, you know, my question throughout all of this is like, how much mental health issues do you have to, what threshold do you have to meet to have all of your rights taken away? Okay, you know, like all of your rights taken away. Like that's, you know, like I get she has mental health issues, but let's stop and think about this for a second. What is the threshold? And then what is the marker for her to get free? That's another thing. Like how are they are they helping her to get there? What are the steps that the conservatorship is taking? Not just having control. What is the steps that the conservatorship is taking to, develop Britney and let her have this kind of mental health kind of development and give her the tools and strategies to take care of herself? I don't, of course from the outside looking in, we're not seeing a lot, but I'm like, when you look at the details of the conservatorship, I'm just like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on to reintegrate Britney into having her rights. It doesn't seem like there's that doesn't seem like the goal. In other words, it just seems like the goal is to prevent. It's like preventative. It's not like developmental. You know what I mean? Anyway. So let's talk about Jamie's statement. So this is what Jamie Lynn had to say. I'm reading this off of Billboard, and I'm gonna post this for you guys in the description because I think that you can no longer put links to outside of YouTube in the comments. Okay, anyway. So this is what Jamie Lynn has to say. I felt like until my sister could speak for herself and say what she needed to say publicly, it wasn't my place and it wasn't the right thing to do. But now that she's very clearly spoken and said what she needed to say, I feel like I can follow her lead and say what I need to say, the 30-year-old said on her video. I think it's extremely clear since day I was born, I've only loved and adored and supported my sister. This is my freaking big sister before any of this bull S. I don't care if she wants to run away to the rainforest and have a zillion babies in the middle of nowhere, or if she wants to come back and dominate the world the way she has so many times before. I have nothing to gain or lose either way. The situation does not affect me either way because I am only her sister who is only concerned about her happiness. Now let's break down the first part of that statement. You said you didn't want to speak out because you didn't want to say anything publicly because you wanted her to have opportunity to speak publicly. But there's something about that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Just in the idea that she had so many hearings and stuff where you could have spoken on her behalf or helped her speak for herself or looked into what was going on and helped her get a lawyer that was going to speak for her more. You see what I'm saying? This stuff isn't just the last 2 years of difficulty. This has been over a decade of stuff. So to me, I'm just like, it doesn't fully, you see what I'm saying? I'm confused. I don't want to attack Jamie Lynn or say that she wasn't a good sister, but she definitely is not doing and saying the stuff I think a lot of us would do and say. Maybe I wouldn't respond to people on Instagram, clearly, but I would have been at all of my sister's here. If I was seeing up close how my sister was being affected by this stuff, I would know all of her hearing dates. I would be asking her every time she had one of those evaluations and check-ins. I'm like, what exactly went down? How exactly did they treat you? How do you feel about it? Etc. But and then I would be participating. You see what I'm saying? And I think that when you put it into the context of 12 years ago when all this went down, we were younger. So she's 30, I'm 28. So 12 years ago, we were in our teens, right? So she didn't have the wherewithal at that time to know what to do. But in the last kind of 5-6 years, we're adults. You see what I'm saying? Once you start getting 24, 25, 26, 27, the last couple years, she should have been participating more and going to bat more, from my opinion. Okay, I wouldn't be on Instagram. I wouldn't be in an interview. I would be in the court every single year, every 6 months. Whenever they were having a hearing, I would be either sitting there or I'd be standing up and speaking and being like, I've seen her cook dinner, do choreo, have business meetings, but I don't understand why she can't be, or give a statement where you're like, I have seen her struggle. I have seen her have issues with her mental health and still do all the things. You know what I mean? I've seen her issues with mental health. And I think that, we need to start talking about loosening some of the restrictions because she can handle more than the conservatorship is allowing her. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if we think that she needs some help, extra help, and we're not going to go from 0 to 100 or 100 back down to 0, when are you going to start advocating for like a loosening? When are you going to start advocating for, you see what I'm saying, steps to be taken out of it? And even with ending the conservatorship, maybe it's not even a good idea to just end it overnight. They should have had like a plan. Like, when you get into this, I have so many questions about these conservatorships. Like, when you get into a conservatorship, is the plan just, okay, well, now your life is no longer yours forever? Why wouldn't you have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? Isn't the point of a conservatorship to make someone's life better? So, like, why wouldn't you be creating a life plan with Britney of like, what do you want? What are the goals? What is the support system we're going to set up? How are we going to make that look to make sure that you don't fall back into something that was over the top, detrimental to you, your personal life and your professional life? How do we prevent that? That's what we want to prevent. We don't want to just prevent you from doing anything or going anywhere. Like, that doesn't seem like a good solution to any of this. I don't know. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. And her saying that she didn't want to do anything. And then here's another thing. She said, I've made a very conscious choice. This is Jamie Lynn Spears. I've made a very conscious choice in my life to only participate in her life as her sister. Again, as a sister, I have 2 sisters. As a sister, this is a track to me. Like, this is to me like part of sister duties. As like, what does my sister need in terms of mental health? What does my sister need in terms of support system? In terms of, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm trying not to be super judgy, but I just don't agree with how she's handled stuff. And I don't know where else to take this feeling other than to YouTube to discuss it with y'all. Maybe I didn't support her the way the public would like me to with the hashtag in a public platform. Again, that's nope. I never said never. She never had to be a part of Free Britney. But at the core, like, you know. Okay, anyway. Also, before all of this became a hashtag, years ago, 5 years ago, she was 25. Before any of this was a hashtag. And the hearings and stuff were more private and more closed. People weren't reporting on her hearings and her conservatorship. A lot of people didn't even know she was in a conservatorship for a long time. Like, maybe like they heard about it once and it fell out of their memory, but people really weren't talking about it like that. Like, you could have participated without public platform and all that, whatever. But I can assure I have supported my sister long before there was a hashtag, and I'll support her long after. Note that. And then this is where she gets really defensive. She's defending herself because her sister is kind of making open-ended statements about her whole family and all of them benefiting. Those are words that Britney has said. She wants to sue her family. She didn't say just her father. She said she wants to sue her family, and she said all of them were okay with things and all of them were benefiting. Those are Britney's words. So now, whether all of them means like the husband, his wife, mom, managers, whoever it is, like whoever all of them is, it may not include Jamie Lynn. And I'm open to like seeing that may not be the case. But it's not looking great. And so she's sitting here out of this whole situation. The first thing that she's taking, not the first thing, but like in her very first official statement, she's taking the time to really talk about herself and defend herself. And I just think that, I don't know, it doesn't look great. So she's like, note that I've worked since I was 9 years old. I've paid my own bills since I was 10 years old. Note that I owe the public, not that I owe the public anything because my sister knows I love and support her. That's the only person I owe anything to. I'm not my family. I'm my own person. I'm speaking for myself. I'm so proud of her using her voice. I am so proud of her for requesting new counsel. If any conservatorship is flying to Mars, if any of the conservatorship is flying to Mars or whatever the hell else she wants to do to be happy, I support that. What? 100%. Because I will always support my sister. I love my sister. Always have. Just when as long as she's happy, la 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 la. So let's keep praying. That's all. Sorry, I butchered that. But it's on Billboard. She wasn't saying nothing like during Britney's harrowing testimony, they should be in jail. And she just uses like a collective noun of they should be in jail in the way her team treated her. She's upset with her family and especially Jamie Spears. She said, and this is what I'm saying. She said, I would like to sue my family to be totally honest. I would also like to be able to share my story and what they did to me instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard. I've been so angry. La 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 la. No privacy. And that's it. I don't know what to feel. I really don't know how to feel about this. I understand like this all started when we were really young, but I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with her. And then this is what I said too on my little notes. I said, previous hearings were closed to the public. So you wouldn't have had to say anything that the public would have heard. Like, we don't know exactly what she had said in her other statements. And she's been reaching out to lawyers and stuff for years. And that's where some of the information from Free Britney was coming from. She was reaching out to different attorneys. And then when she didn't become their attorney, like stuff was leaking out that she was telling them. I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about a lot of this. Please ignore my weird wonky hair today. Just ignore. But yeah, I don't know how to feel. Like, please tell me what you guys think below. Because I'm just like,